Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the In Between the Stitches podcast. I am your host, Brady Wilson, with my co-host, Chase Olschwinger.
Good afternoon.
And with a former, special guest that he's been on here a lot, Zach Babb.
Yeah.
First time on camera, though, this time.
Yeah, the last time I was on the show, it was in a completely different studio that was about the size of a sardine can. It heated up in there when you had three people all crammed in there at once, and there was no room for a camera. In fact, I think the couple times you guys did have a camera, it was at the jankiest angles up against
top of the
walls.
monitor.
So when we did the draft, this was supposed to be the original podcast studio for like the draft show. I couldn't do it my first year because I told Dean, I told Dean Marshall like 2 weeks before. He's like, bro, you give me a little more time, we can work something out. The next year, they were building this space, it flooded the week of the draft.
I remember that. I actually do remember that
like,
when
Zach,
it was like ready to go, ready to rock and roll, and then there
Zach,
was
we need
like
to call
a foot
an
of
audible.
water.
We need to so we had the camera, and then I think that was 23, and then 24 we had to do this other studio again because this was still under construction. Because they had to redo the whole thing because of the flood.
Right.
And so we had two cameras. I think one was like way over here, and it's getting me you're looking in my ear. And the other one, it was terrible.
Yeah,
it was absolutely awful.
It's the In Between the Stitches has come a long way.
We have come a long way. The studio is definitely a lot more spacious, and it has air conditioning. Which,
which is great.
At this time of the year, and when you're wearing a Stars jersey, it feels great.
It's comfortable to record.
Yeah, it is. I remember just the headphones, like you just take on like, you need your waters
Just
and
get
stuff.
hit with the blast of the heat.
Yes.
It was so much fun.
Because there was like multiple computers, and and now there's just one.
Yeah,
It's so much nicer. But
there you go.
Of course, Zach is here to talk Dallas Stars.
What else would I be here to talk about?
Of course. And
Not the Astros.
not the Astros. No, we'll have a war
later.
Hey, they're losing right now. It makes me
Hey, they won back-to-back games, so it's levels of back never thought possible.
There we go. But we are here to talk about the Stars, who now become, I think I saw the 7th professional hockey team or franchise to have a 50-win season.
The 6th to have 3 consecutive 50-win seasons.
Okay, is that what it was?
Yes. Okay. And so, they claim their game 82 of 82. They claim their regular season win number 50 last night. So for the 3rd straight year, they have 50 regular season wins, which only 5 other teams have ever gone on a run like that. Now, the pressure's on because of those previous 5, the first 4 of them within that 3-year span won at least one Stanley Cup. So
hey, the math supports it then. So that's on our side.
Well, you know who the oddball is who didn't, and it's pretty recent too.
It's Carolina.
It's Carolina, 2021 and 2024, and they didn't win a cup. In fact, they got swept 3 times in the Eastern Conference Finals. So
hey, we didn't get swept at least.
At least not.
But 3 straight Western Conference, finals appearances.
Yes.
And I have a theory that this year there's the 4 best teams are coming out of the Central in the West in terms of points. The 4 of the best 5 are Central teams.
Because the Pacific,
Utah is one behind Vegas, but one ahead of Edmonton.
And the Pacific is so terrible this year; it's absolute dog bleep. Because if you were, this is my favorite factoid of this year. If you were to take the top 16 teams, not even 16 teams, there's 2 ways you can slice this. Both work. If you were to take the top 16 teams in the league and just seed them 1 through 16 and have a playoff that way, the entire Pacific Division would miss the playoffs.
Really?
If you were to put the Pacific out east, if you were to put the Pacific in the Eastern Conference and then seed 1 through 8 like they used to and not do this division-based thing, the entire Pacific would still miss the playoffs.
It looks like Vegas would. They're at 13 in the league.
Okay, well, Vegas has kind of crept up there, I guess.
But there's one team.
But there's one, yeah. If you did the 1 through 16, there'd be one team. If you plopped the whole Pacific in the East, there'd be 0 teams. So that's how bad the Pacific this is. Connor McDavid, actually, to his credit, called it a pillow fight.
Yeah.
The battle to see who's going to win the Pacific.
Do you think that they're going to go back to 1 through 8 eventually?
I hope so. I see
everybody complaining about it.
We got to talk about this. The playoff format.
Yeah, when they first introduced this in 2013-14, I kind of liked it because it was like, yes, it puts more emphasis on the divisional rivalries, but at the same time, hockey's not baseball. Like, there are rivalries, but they're very fluid, and it can change from year to year, the level of importance. It's not like the Astros and Rangers where every year, no matter how good or how bad they are, they just hate each other's guts.
Right. Yeah.
You only have that in very very few situations, and it's usually based on geographic rivalry, so you're going to be in the same division no matter what, like the Battle of Alberta, Calgary and Edmonton.
Right.
They hate each other, and they always have, and they always will. And so that's one exception to that rule, but like, a Dallas versus, like for a while, Colorado, it's Colorado right now, but like in the late teens, early 20s, it was Nashville. Nashville was up there, and then it was Vegas for a little bit. Vegas was in there as kind of the hated team. So it's this whole fluid thing that doesn't mean as much in hockey as it does with baseball. And now where you have the top 3 teams, 3 of the top 4 teams, I think it is, in the whole league are all crammed into one division. And so 2 of those 3 teams are going to be out by the conference final. It's like, what are we doing?
Right.
It's more like football. Football's rivalries are really not geographic. They're playoff oriented.
Yes.
They're Colts. They're real, or even then they're player oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Like for a while it was Brady Manning because it was Colts Patriots. Then it became Broncos Patriots.
Yeah.
Right now it's Bills and the Chiefs hate each other.
Yeah.
They're this in the country.
Yeah.
But because the Chiefs have just consistently beat them, the Bills hate their guts.
And for the most part, because of how the NFL playoff format is, they're always meeting up in the AFC Championship game. Whereas I actually think that would help the rivalry aspect of the NHL is, Dallas, Minnesota, any combination of Dallas, Minnesota, Minnesota, Colorado, Colorado, Dallas, any combination of those would make for a legendary Western Conference final.
Of course.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen because of the way the division format's set up for the playoffs.
It's more like it's more like, well, even then baseball doesn't really do it by division. Baseball calls it the division series.
Yeah, but
it's not the division
it's
series.
the division winners. It's
it was called the division series because the first iteration of it was the strike season in '81, and then it was divisions playing each other for the division title.
Yeah.
They just kept the name because they're lazy.
Yeah.
But with hockey, you've got 3 of the best teams, and 2 of them are going to be out in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's very frustrating with how good the Central's gotten because it's like you can. And because how they used to do it 1 through 8 too was they'd reseed every round. So the top seed's always playing the lowest seed. So if you have 3 teams crammed into the top of the top of the conference, because of reseeding, the top seed's always going to get the lowest leftover seed. So you are always guaranteed, not always guaranteed. Obviously, there's upsets and things that aren't quote unquote supposed to happen, but you usually always get the 2 best teams to that point in the conference final.
Yeah,
and now the conference final this year is going to feature a Pacific Division team. Like,
whoever comes out of this bloodbath.
Couldn't it be Utah?
It could be Utah.
And I've actually said this to Chase before.
It might be Utah.
It might be Utah.
Just because the Pacific's so bad.
It very well, they're going to face Vegas. They can beat Vegas.
They can beat Vegas.
They're 3 points behind Vegas. That's an overtime loss and 1 regulation win behind Vegas.
Yeah, so it's like, you could have the entire Central. But that's the thing, too. It's like, what would make a better Western Conference final? Colorado versus Utah or Colorado versus Dallas?
Oh, Dallas.
So,
no question.
But, that's not going to happen.
And Bettman's very clear about, and I get and it's funny because I get what he's going for. He's going for, I don't want the first round to be, but I don't want the casual fans to be, first round I don't care because it's two nobody teams. Everyone's talking about Minnesota Dallas right now because it is going to be one of the marquee matchups, and I get that. But it's frustrating that we both teams are going to have these wonderful seasons, right? The Minnesota Wild go out, they get Quinn Hughes, who might leave in the offseason, right? Like there's a pretty, I don't say good chance. It's probably
it could happen. It's possible.
It's probably 60-40 he leaves versus he stays. It's probably majority. He probably leaves, especially he's probably going to New Jersey. Probably play with his brother. Probably.
If they can fix their cap issues, but yeah.
But they trade for Quinn Hughes to go for it at least for this season, and there's a decent chance they get knocked out in the first round.
Yeah.
And it's like you hear first round exit, you think, oh, that's disappointing. But you lost to Dallas, who's what right now? The third best team in the league?
Yeah.
I think it's funny.
That's nothing to get upset about.
No, I do think it's funny.
It's just
Colorado, Carolina, Dallas.
Yeah, Carolina, whatever.
Well, because Rantanen.
Well, yeah.
Mikko Rantanen's
the whole Rantanen storyline is just.
It's funny because it's like all 3 teams
have
come out great from it, and I can't think of another example in sports where 3 teams are all linked in this trade,
and they're all better because of it.
and they're all better because of it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because Stankoven's been great in Carolina, and Necas is great in Colorado, and obviously Ranton's great in Dallas. So it's funny how that kind of worked out for everybody. I know fans still like to say they hate Rantanen for leaving Colorado and then leaving
it's the funniest
Carolina, but whatever.
It's the funniest storyline to me because Carolina fans fine, but like your front office traded for him before they knew if he would stay. That's dumb. Colorado, he wanted to stay, and he was completely blindsided by the trade. He didn't ask for a trade. It's not like Duchesne that had a more messy exit.
Yeah.
But another thing with like the NHL, just marketing problems. They have games 1 on Saturday, and then nothing else is scheduled. Oh no, they do have.
I think other ones are popping up.
Are they popping up
I think
now?
they're starting to pop up.
Okay,
yeah.
so on Sunday they've announced the Bruins, Sabres, Canadians, Lightning. How about the Canadians too?
Yeah.
Mammoth, Golden Knights. And then after that, like
they're still, because I know they're still waiting on one more Western Conference battle. The Pacific, the pillow fight that is the Pacific, still has to be decided.
Is it like the seeding? Or
Yes,
is it like,
it's all seeding at this point.
Oh, it's because Edmonton and Anaheim could flip.
They could flip.
Oh, there's still another regular season game?
Tonight's the last night of the regular season for everybody.
Edmonton and Anaheim are Edmonton's at 91, Anaheim's at 90 points, and they both play today, so they could flip home ice advantage.
Right.
Yeah. So that's.
but they're playing each other first round.
And technically,
I don't know. Hold on a second.
I don't know about. I don't know what the tiebreaker is.
I think so, right?
But like
regulation wins is your first tiebreaker. So
is Utah?
So really no. So really it can. So the only thing that's settled over there. So obviously Dallas, Minnesota. Vegas is going to play Utah, but Edmonton, Anaheim, and LA can still all switch spots because LA's in the Pacific Division, and they're only 1 point behind Anaheim and Edmonton.
No, they're tied with Anaheim.
Are tied with Anaheim.
That's crazy.
1 point behind Edmonton. So
LA's projected to play Colorado right now.
Right now, but if LA wins tonight, then they could get home ice against the 3 seed. But right now they're the lowest seed in the playoffs.
Crazy.
So that's just how bad the Pacific Division is at the moment.
Please do not let the Kings face Colorado. Please let it be Anaheim because Anaheim has the. I know Colorado's going to win their first round matchup more than likely. Can they just take them 6?
Yeah, just wear them down a little bit.
Wear them down because we're going to get worn down by Minnesota because of the way they play.
Yeah, Minnesota is such a physical team.
They've always been that. They've always been just that really tough. Just we're going to bruise you. And I'm hoping that unlike the Pete DeBoer Stars, we're going to move to this now. I think with the Glenn Gulletson Stars. That we're still not exactly where I think he wants us to be with the physical stuff, but we're, he said at the beginning of the season, and I love the DLS Stars podcast with Craig Ludwig and those guys. They do a great job. And they've said it in like every single one, and it's true that what he said in his first press conference was, I want us to get 1% better every day.
Yeah.
And then I'll add up. And I think that we definitely have become, like we're seeing Jason Robertson fly around and hit people against Winnipeg. We never saw that, right? So, but we're still not exactly, but we're better. Do you think that Gulletson has done, how good of a job has he done this year with us?
I think it's been spectacular, and not just for the physical play aspect, because I think that has been lacking or was lacking under the DeBoer Stars. And that's, you hear it said ad nauseum that playoff hockey is so different than regular season hockey.
So fast.
It truly is. It becomes a faster and more physical game, and with how you have to translate everything you've done in the regular season into the playoff mindset, I think the Stars could outskill people under DeBoer a lot. I mean, they just have a lot of talent. That's no one ever denies that. But when it got time to the nitty gritty of I don't know. I don't know if the phrase "want it" is the right one here. But and I'll go back to a quote from Wayne Gretzky, when right before the Oilers started their run in the 80s, when they won 4 cups in 6 years, they were coming off the heels of the New York Islanders winning 4 straight Stanley Cups, 77, 78, 79, and 80. And the story that Gretzky always tells, you'll see it in the occasional documentary, is, as this young bunch of Oilers players, they go into to try and stop the Islanders from four-peating, and they don't. They lose in 5, I think it was, that year, and they lost in Long Island. And the way the locker rooms were set up at the old Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum was if you were in the visiting locker room, you had to walk by the Islanders locker room to get to the exit where the buses were. And Gretzky said they walk by and there's kind of, obviously they can hear the celebration and everything, but they, kind of poke their heads in and say, hey, congrats guys, whatever. And Gretzky says the entire Oilers team was taken aback by how just beat up those Islanders were. And they took that to heart, and that's what Gretzky says, is they take that to heart into the next training camp in 80-81, that being good is not good enough to win a Stanley Cup. Yeah. You have to be beat up to win a Stanley Cup. Yeah. And then that's what he credits seeing these beat up Islanders players after winning their 4th straight Stanley Cup for the reason the Oilers ended up winning 4 and 6 years right after that.
It's the hardest championship to win.
Yeah, and so I say all that to say Gulutzon, I think, has instilled more of that in him, and I think Jim Nill has helped too, going off and getting Michael Bunting and Tyler Myers at the trade deadline. Those were 2 huge additions in terms of the physical play, especially with Bunting. But
he's ratty.
Yes, but I think that with what the physical play, and then I think the evidence of that has been in how the team has played in spite of all the injuries they've faced this year. Obviously, no Miro for a little bit here. Hintz is going to miss at least the first 2 games of the playoffs, but he's been out since the Olympic break. They didn't have Rantanen for a while. They didn't have Robertson for a while. Jamie Benn missed the start of the year, so Harley was out for a bit. Bishop was out for a bit, and that was the thing when they went on that 15-game point streak that tied the 99 team for longest point streak in franchise history. They did it with a lot of those guys not even playing.
Oh, and it really should have been a 15-game winning streak. It was 15 seconds away from a 15-game winning streak.
Yeah, there was 14-0-1.
The one team, it was the one Colorado.
Yeah,
thing.
in a shootout.
It was a shootout, but we were 15. They tied it with under a minute to go.
Yes, so it should have been 15 straight wins, which would have easily been a franchise record. But in that span, they still won 10 straight or whatever it was, which set a team record and then tied the point record with 15. And so. Yeah, and doing that with so many guys on the shelf injured, I think is just kind of a testament to what Gulutzon has brought in that was kind of lacking in the DeBoer years.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask you, what did you think about Tyler Myers, the Tyler Myers acquisition?
Well, he's from Houston, so I love him. So
yeah, he's
like the first Texas native to be a star.
Native to be a star.
Okay,
yeah,
which is great.
Yeah, I think Myers brings you need a left-handed defenseman, which has been lacking. Just that piece alone has been lacking for the last 3 playoffs.
Bishop's a lefty,
and it's not from
lack right shot defenseman. Sorry, not lefty.
It's not from lack of trying.
Yes,
he's tried the Matt Dumba, the Ilya Lyubushkins, and they just haven't really worked. But see, that's the thing about Jim Nill is I always give him credit. Is unlike other GMs, not just in Dow, but just other GMs in other sports that try to double down and say, no, we made the right move, we did the right thing. He'll go, no, I screwed up. Let's go get Tyler Myers.
Yeah.
No, I messed up. Oops, my bad.
So that having a right shot defenseman in Myers has just been needed for so long, and he's there for defense. You're not expecting him to score goals to even this.
Season,
yeah, and it was with Vancouver.
Good slap shot,
so he can crank it when he needs to. But it was, we don't need him for his ability to run the offense.
Or Bunting.
He's there for defense, and Bunting is just a guy who will, beat the crap out of you. And I kind of appreciate that for a team that needs physicality.
We don't need scoring. We've got so much scoring. We've got Rantanen, Robertson, Johnston. When Hintz comes back, Miro can score a little bit. Harley can score. We don't really need scoring. We need a guy that can come in, fly around, and hit people.
Yes,
we need an assassin that can just fly around and get under Connor McDavid, and that's what been. And I was actually at the Edmonton game where we won 7-2.
Yeah,
so happy about that game. It was such a great game. But I remember watching in real time Ritzy going over and pointing, and they asked, I think was it whoever was on this, I can't remember who the side ice reporter is.
Oh,
for that game, it was the bald guy. It was
Darren Pang,
maybe.
Yeah,
older guy, I think former player, because apparently he used to be a big talker too, because he was listening to Rich Kovian, and apparently he said on a podcast, what he was saying is they couldn't trade you, they tried to trade you, they couldn't trade you, and I watched that moment in real time, and I'm laughing. I'm like, look, I pointed at me and guy next to me were talking. I'm like, look, Rich Kovian's he's giving it to McDavid, and that's what we've missed.
Yeah.
We've
Was
missed.
that the same game where he's in the box with Ernie and they dap each other
I think
up there?
so, yeah. What we had missed against a team like Edmonton was, first of all, they've had so many in that game. I like they're blaming it on Jari. Evan Bouchard, first of all, should go nowhere near the Norris Trophy.
Yes.
The man is horrific at defense.
Yes, that's
Like,
pretty well established.
There's so many times where he's just, I mean, like it's like Jonah Heim's body language at times. I'm just like, it's bad. But we needed that guy that could just get under McDavid's skin. That could get under Nathan McKinnon's skin. That's just super frustrating, and you want to just power bomb him through the ice. And Rich Kovian, that's why I love him so much, because that's the brand of hockey he plays. Rantanen can hit, right?
Yeah.
But like Johnston, Robo, they more play the spacing where Johnston will score in the tough areas. Robo's just a sniper. But we needed the ratty type of players, I think. And that's been, I think, the biggest change. Plus, guys like Maverick Bork stepping up, 20-goal season.
Yeah. Bork's been awesome. Just the whole depth stuff. I mean, Sam Steele had a run for a second there. Colin Blackwell can grind yet a goal every once in a while. It's very impressive to see with everything going on there.
Well, for this upcoming series, I know there's still a lot of players who are injured. A lot of big key players.
Hopefully Miro's back.
Are we
Miro's supposed to be back.
Are we expecting everybody back at Rupe?
Except for Rope.
Okay.
So Fox is back. He's played the last 2 games, actually, 2 regular season games. Yeah, they slowly got him going.
Well, the game was blacked out yesterday on I tried to watch.
I watched it on Victory. I saw the shootout on Victory.
It was on Victory and TNT. It was very weird.
Okay, that's why. Because me and my dad were trying to watch it on HBO Max. Yeah. And it was saying it's blacked out. We're like, what this is what? No. Yeah, because they black out playoff games, we're in trouble.
Yeah, no, it was because of that weird TNT and Victory Plus cast going on at the same time.
I was not optimistic watching that shootout the way it started.
Yeah, and then Ottinger let in 2 easy ones, and I'm like, oh. Yeah. And then we ended up winning it anyway.
Battled back.
But so from what I've seen, everyone's supposed to be back, sans Rope. Okay. Miro's back for game 1. Fox has been back. I think everyone else, obviously, Rantanen's been back for a bit now. It's about as healthy as a team as it's been. Obviously, minus Sagan, who's been out for basically the whole year.
Right. I mean, it's just he has 1 more year in the contract. Do you think next year's his last year just because the injuries?
I think so. Yeah, I think he'll just ride out the contract and call it a career.
Or do you think like if they are not able to capture the cup this year or next year, and I'm hoping that's not true, but do you think he's like with Jamie Benn, like him and Jamie go, let's re-up for 1 more year for like $2 million?
Maybe
let's try to ride. Let's just try, because like he's still,
because that's the thing with the Stars is they still have such a window with how young their team is with the Robos and the Johnstons.
Brandon's not even that old either. He's like 20.
He's like
26,
late 20s, somewhere around there.
Do you expect a Robo extension?
That was my next question. Yeah, how
I do. I think mainly because just Jim Nill takes care of his guys who they value. Unless I don't think it.
Can they afford it? I mean,
that's going to be the biggest question. If they can't afford it, I think he gets traded beforehand. Because I think
that was the talk going into the season that Robertson's going to be dealt at the deadline for a guy who's can contribute as much, if not a little bit less, or maybe even a little bit more. But then it's a 1-year deal, it's a rental, and then you go out and get someone for cheaper in the next in the following season. But then he ends up staying, and then it's like, well, he's done after this year. But now the talks.
I think it would not surprise me if he's back. I'll say that.
I hope so. We all hope so.
Because now it's another thing that it becomes too is he's had kind of, compared to his regular season goal volume, it has not been there in the playoffs. So what I think actually will be probably the most interesting thing to see is in a weird lose-lose sort of situation, if he doesn't perform and the Stars bow out of the playoffs before the Cup final again, I think there's a hot chance he's back. But then I think it gets really interesting if he goes on a tear, helps propel the Stars to the Cup final or win a Cup, and then suddenly his value in the free agent market is a behemoth compared to the already high price tag it was going to be.
The good news is he's an RFA. And it's good. It's like we get like 3 first-round picks if someone signs him.
If someone were to sign him and we didn't match it, yes. So there's that,
which is advantage us. But I think also,
and I was talking to him about last week. Sorry, real quickly, because we were talking about it last week about being compensated 3 picks.
Yeah,
Nill would turn that into another player of around that caliber just
probably
at the deadline because of the magic he can work.
Yeah, and if now that's the thing with this whole thing of him being an RFA too, which I always forget about that he's an RFA and not a UFA, is that you have qualifying offers and offer sheets are very rare in the NHL. Now, Robertson may completely buck the trend because of how good of a player he is and the fact that the Stars necessarily couldn't afford him. The Stars could qualify him, give him a qualifying offer, which if he signed the tender there would be, I can't remember what percentage of salary increase automatically comes with that. But I don't think, with how good he's been, I don't think Nil wants to have him sign a qualifying offer. You only usually see that for dudes who are, on the bubble between the NHL and the AHL.
Right.
So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens this summer with Robertson, because I think it can go in a bazillion different directions. And some could benefit the Stars, some could not. Some could benefit the Stars in the playoffs, and then he's elsewhere in the offseason. I really don't know. I think though, if Jim Nill has his way, he's back. I'll put the cherry on top with that.
I'd hate to lose him, but if he did win us a cup and it ended up meaning that we lost him,
it's gonna sting a lot less.
It'll sting, but
the thing with
thank you,
Robo and I've seen this, that the cap, basically we have to weather 1 year of. Then after this upcoming season, the cap is going to explode.
Yeah, and it's already started to march up a little bit, but it's going to
But it works differently in the NFL. The NFL, it goes up every year. In hockey, it's incremental, explode, incremental, explode.
Because I think, and I may have some of the details with this wrong, is because all the escrow stuff that came with COVID and where the cap barely budged.
Yeah,
it's
going away.
All of that's gone, I think,
and
going
now
into this offseason.
The media rights are getting even bigger because NHL's booming right now. I think they're capitalizing on. I think some people are getting kind of stale with the NFL. The NFL will always be king, but I think some people are getting stale with the NFL and the NBA. And with the 4 nations and then the Olympics and back-to-back years, people are like, "Oh, hockey's pretty fun. Let's go watch that."
Yeah.
And I think that so we have to weather. I think it's 1 year. It's this upcoming year of trying to manage the cap. With Sagan on the $9 million, once that Sagan deal goes off, that $9 million, and then the cap also exploding, the extension fits perfectly.
Yeah.
The Stars are in a great position because there are other teams that are trying to rebuild right now. We picked the perfect time to have this core come up because the cap's exploding, and we can keep Wyatt Johnson, we can keep Thomas Harley, we can have Miro, and Miro's on a really cheap deal too. But
he's already a steal in terms of value.
We can have Mikko Rantanen. So is Wyatt Johnson. 40 goals, and he's making what was it? I think he got $8 million, $9 million?
Something like that. Somewhere around 8, I think, if I remember right.
And then probably Bischel's going to get extended at some point because he's played really well this season when he's been on the ice. But I think the Stars are in a really good position to team-wise to obviously compete for the next 6, 7, 8 years potentially.
Yeah.
By the way, Rantanen turns 30 this year, so he's actually a lot older than I thought.
Okay, yeah.
But
the window is still there.
5 to 7 years, which is, I've noticed this with hockey. The windows seem to last longer in hockey because football, it's 2-3 years, and then if you have a quarterback, you may take a year to rebuild, but then you're right back.
Yeah.
Baseball can have a pretty long window, but it's also very volatile. With one guy might be really great 1 year. Look at Adolis Garcia. You look at or a team like your team is just kind of the money's gotten lower, and your team is just aging out. And then basketball, you can have a pretty long window in basketball.
Yeah. Basketball is probably the longest window, but hockey, just the nature of it all. If you can play your cards right in hockey, which Jim Nill always has.
And then speaking of Jim Nill, I thought it was funny that they literally were like, okay, we don't want people to go, oh, is he going to Toronto? Just announce it.
Yeah, just 2-year deal. Here you go, 2-year extension.
And he said that, I read, Pierre LeBrun made a great article he spoke with Jim about all the playoffs and the extension. It was on The Athletic. I recommend people read it. It's a great article. And he talked about, and Jim Nill was like, yeah, I'm doing 2 years because, I'm 66. I got juice left in the tank, but I want to have flexibility where if I need to step down, I can start a succession plan, but I can also I'm not. His quote was, "I'm not putting the organization in a bind, because I'm on a long deal and it's a problem." But look, it's great having Jim Nill as our GM.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot of worse GMs in all of sports.
I mean, yeah, you look at the rest of some hockey.
I can't really think of any.
I can think of a couple.
I can think of some in the town.
Not anymore.
Yeah, he's gone now. But no, I think with the Stars, look, it's going to be tough with Minnesota. I think we all know that. I'm hoping that we can get out of it under 7 games.
Yeah.
That would be. I told Chase the dream scenario is win the first 2 in Dallas, split, and then win at Game 5. You're done.
Yeah,
that's the dream, but it's tough.
I counter that. I think a dream is just a sweep.
Fair enough.
Because I mean, look, they look and we have talked about the roster constructions where they might have more of the star power.
Yeah,
Kaprizov and Quinn Hughes they're probably better than anyone on our roster, especially Quinn.
Yeah,
if they joined our roster, Quinn's definitely the best player on our team. Kaprizov might be 3 behind whether you want to put Rantanen or probably Robo up there.
One of the better goal scorers on the team, for sure.
But then after that, they have great depth. They've got Boldy, they've got Faber, they like Eriksson Ek. They've got great players, but we have more depth than they do.
Yeah, so
we've got guys that are going to get healthy scratched, like Adam Ernie, that are great players.
Yeah. That's my fear with Minnesota, and really kind of my fear with Dallas going into this series is I just don't know. It's weird because I keep thinking the fact that they've played a lot of hockey in the last 3 years. They've been in the Western Conference Final for 3 consecutive seasons. So they've been playing an extra month plus to each season for the last 3 seasons. They're kind of banged up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's this weird position for me of waiting for the other shoe to drop. And obviously it hasn't happened yet. I mean, we were down so many guys and then went on that 15-game point streak. But there's this weird nagging feeling in the back of my head that has to catch up with you at some point.
Yeah. What my nagging feeling is, look, for rivalries to happen, the other team has to win sometimes.
Yes, and Minnesota has not beaten us in the playoffs
Minnesota
ever.
Or Colorado. Like, we've been beaten up on them for years.
Yeah.
And they, we've seen this in sports multiple times. Like, the Niners and Cowboys in the 90s both did this. I'm pretty sure they have geared up their rosters to beat us. Yes. It's not to win the cup. They're like, screw the cup. We want Dallas. we are building our roster to beat them. That's who we're trying to beat. And that's what my fear is that we had 3 years to try to get to the cup and we missed. And now the other 2 teams in our division have caught up, and it's gonna maybe we beat Minnesota, maybe we beat Colorado again. Now we're like limping into
Utah
or Vegas, or my God, if Edmonton can figure out defense, that would be scary. But I don't think they will.
Yeah, I think they ran.
But you also want to have a more optimistic feeling, saying like, well, we've gotten to the Western Conference Finals 3 years in a row and lost. Maybe this is the year where we actually win.
Yeah.
We're better we're a better. I think we're a better team. I think we're better suited for the playoffs. It's just my concern. My concerns have nothing to do with how the Stars are.
Yeah.
It's everything to do with the other teams.
Because that's
the other
my other kind of angle to that fear, if you will, is I certainly think Minnesota can win this series.
Absolutely.
I would only make the Stars a slight favorite, mainly because they have Game 7 if it comes to that on home ice. Yeah. But my other slice of that fear is we get through the first round and it's a grueling 6 or 7 game series and you are just beat up by the time you get to the second round and have to play probably Colorado.
Because remember, that happened against Minnesota. It was 23 where we faced Minnesota, got beat up. No. Or was it Seattle?
No,
I think you're talking about
23 we beat Minnesota, then Seattle took us to 7.
And Seattle
beat Seattle.
The living and you came on the show and were like, man, they've beat the crap out of us. Now we got to go face Vegas.
And Vegas just burned through us.
And they burned through us because we were tired. We ran out of gas.
Yeah.
And then let's see, I can't remember exactly what happened in 24.
24.
That was Edmonton, but then who'd we face before that? Colorado in the first round. That was the Duchesne Game 7 score.
Oh, no, it was Vegas in the first round because remember they went up 2-0 in Dallas on us, and then we came back and won that series.
Yeah,
right.
And then the second round was Colorado with Duchesne, puck never lies, in overtime. and then Edmonton.
And then last year, of course, facing Colorado, legendary series.
Yeah, and then made relatively quick work of Winnipeg, and then
they were tough.
They were tough,
but then you get to Edmonton and they just outclassed us again.
Buzzsawed you through.
And I remember going into that series thinking we're better this year. We're gonna be tougher.
We almost looked worse.
We looked
worse. We looked worse than the year before. So
yeah. we looked worse, and so now I'm just we're all concerned.
Yeah.
But I think we're all excited. Look. When we clinched the playoffs and we were talking about it, it's like, you know what? This is great because you don't know how many, truly, Rangers go to the World Series, haven't been back to the playoffs since. Cowboys haven't been in the playoffs in 2 years. Mavs in the finals, we think we're great. Now, of course, some things happen, but you don't know if you will be back, so you have to relish the playoffs when they happen. Because as a fan, this is why you go through the sucky years that we went through in the 2010s with the Stars, where they were kind of up and down and this and that. Now we're in this consistent level but even next year, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So
you got to relish the playoff opportunities when they come.
Yeah. And so I think I do have the Stars winning this series. I actually have them winning this series in 7 games. Okay. I think it comes down to a 7th game in Dallas.
Would you have them against Colorado? Because I would have them losing. And probably
I would say, Colorado in 7.
Now, real quick, just to get some more of the NHL before we let you go, out east, that's going to be the gauntlet. Because they're 18. They're 8 teams deep.
They are any one of those 8 teams can win the Stanley Cup.
Obviously
Carolina's the cream of the crop, but Carolina has also proven that they can't get past an Eastern Conference final.
if we can't win, I'm on the Buffalo.
I'm so on the Buffalo hype train. If it happens,
I love the way they play.
Yeah.
And
not making the playoffs in 14 years. It's such a. I know the Stars beat them in '99 on the controversial goal, but they're a great fan base.
It was a goal. It was a goal. He had possession of the puck. He kept possession, and he shot it in.
We can argue about that all day, but that's probably for its own podcast.
I'm curious. Goal?
No goal.
Really?
I don't think under the rules of 1999.
But the memo that they circulated was if he maintained possession, he was okay, and he was still the possessor of the puck.
Yeah, the timing of that memo is a little sus to me, but whatever. We can do a whole podcast on that.
I loved it when they announced the 99s and Brett Hull's got it on. His foot is in the crease.
Yep.
It was the.
I went up to the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto in 2023, and they have, ironically, Brett Hull's skates that he wore when he scored that goal.
That's I'm going to Toronto this August.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Hall of Fame's in Toronto. Okay. In a giant glass case, they have it's through the Hall of Players or whatever, and it's different stuff from different players.
Okay. It's so ironic.
And for Brett Hull, they have his skates.
That's great.
That he wore in '99, and so I'm like. Well, there's the left foot, so that was the one that was in the crease.
No, I'm like, whoever pitched, hey, Brett, put your foot in the crease. Whoever pitched that should get a raise.
Yes.
Immediate job for life. I do also say, in Toronto, where baseball's New York, right? Football is football is New York, but football's Canton, right? Toronto, and ironic because Maple Leafs fans, I'm so sorry. But Toronto is the hockey, that's the mecca.
Long live the memes.
The Maple Leaf. What, they haven't won since the 60s?
67. The last year before the NHL expanded past 6 teams.
So they haven't won a cup before the original 6.
Yeah.
After the original 6.
Yeah, after the original 6. Yeah, because they won the cup in April of 67, and the NHL expanded to 12 teams.
Are you looking for a picture of the skates?
I'm pretty sure I took a photo of them because I have to show you guys if I have it. But yeah,
it was. Look, I'm excited. This has been a great regular season. I've watched more hockey this season than I probably watched in my entire life combined. I've really been getting into it this year. Not just with the Stars. It's been watching the Sabres and seeing that game. Was it the game against Tampa Bay?
Yeah,
where it was
7 and 5 fights.
It was a UFC. it was a UFC fight with a hockey game attached to it. That's really what it was.
Yeah.
It was. So it's been a lot of fun for the Stars. I'm hoping that we win 16 games. That's the goal. You want to win. Oh, there they are, right there.
There you go.
That's fantastic.
That's Brett Hull's skates that he wore.
That is awesome.
Did you see
that skate on the left?
Did you see the alumni game that they did?
I saw it go by. I didn't look at anything beyond it.
I know Lettinen was there.
Yeah.
And so DLS has the Finnish Mafia, and apparently he was give me one of those because he's Finnish.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool. And then Ludwig had he had the shin pads on.
Yep, the same shin pads that he wore since college.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, Zach, thank you so much for hopping on.
No problem.
Obviously,
Thanks, guys.
To have you
so
on,
glad you're back here.
Wanted to have you on for the Stars.
Oh, of course.
I don't think. Did we have you on last year?
I don't know if you did with how much my life was between here and Houston. I don't know if I came on before I bolted.
I know we had you on before the when we lost to Vegas. I know we had you on before the first Edmonton loss.
Yeah, because I moved down to Houston March of last year, so I don't think you guys had me on before the playoffs started.
I don't think you did. I think I think we talked about it, but we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't really.
Well, hopefully this ends in 16 wins for the Stars.
Hopefully so.
And thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Zach.
y'all.
See you. And there goes Zach. As usual, when we announce him, there goes Zach Babb.
Now you get to watch him.
Yeah, now you get to watch him. Normally, you would hear the chair and you'd hear the door, and then we get back to. That was a great segment, So let's. He crosses right in front of. If he crossed in front of the camera, I was gonna laugh. I was gonna be like, "Well, there he is." Thank you, Zach.
Or if you want, are you able to adjust the camera?
It's fine.
Or no,
it's fine.
We're fine.
Okay. No, it's fine. Because
never mind. Then.
People are watching. They're like, "Whoa, we just zoomed in." Thank you so much.
See you, Zach.
Hope to see you later. And so now we're going to have to kind of shorten up because that took a lot of time. That was a great segment.
That was a great segment.
It was great talk about the Stars. Zach obviously knows more about hockey than me and you will probably ever know in our lives. So it's
I watch the Stars. I root for the Stars, and I celebrate for the Stars. That's it.
Yeah. Mavs season's over. Hallelujah. Can we cue the hallelujah? Oh, hold on.
You know what?
Wait, hold on. Season's over.
Season is over.
We no more watching bad basketball.
Season is over. Thank God.
Yeah, it was bad year.
Long season.
Bad year.
Can't say anybody expected the way that this season went. Obviously, you started this year. It kind of seems kind of weird that you started this year with Anthony Davis on your team, with hopes of Kyrie coming back in January. Cooper continuing to evolve, AD, Lively, and just whatever you thought was going to happen this Mavs season, you were wrong. But the season's over.
Whoa.
Unfortunately, the Mavs did win the final game because the Bulls, as bad as we are, they are even worse. And they're not even worse record-wise. They had 6 games on us record-wise. But
sorry about that real quick. I was trying to get the Ranger game on. I put my phone on the cord, and it
Oh, the Elgato thing?
Yeah, the Elgato. So, sorry about that. Continue. Sorry. I feel like I had to.
Anyways. Joking. But, no, we unfortunately won the last game, which means Memphis jumped us for the 6th best odds, and we are now tied with New Orleans, who Atlanta has their pick, but we are tied with New Orleans, so we will have a coin flip, I think on the 20th, for...
We have to schedule a coin flip?
That's what it is. It's a coin flip. It's a coin flip for whoever anyone's tied in the lottery. So the Mavs are going to try it. If they win the coin flip, they get 7. If they lose it, they get 8. Projected odds, obviously.
Who gets to call it?
I don't know how it works.
Do they just have a logo on each side and whoever side pops up? That's how I would do it.
I don't know, yeah. I don't know how it works. I really don't. I don't even know if they televise it or not. I would assume they don't because I've never seen it before, but whatever. You have to trust it you have to trust whatever it is, the process.
I mean, that's...
It's just, a coin flip. You got a 50% chance of projected 7 or a 50% chance of projected 8. But...
No, you just said trust the process, so every single Sixers fan...
NBA. Well, we'll get into the rest of the NBA here because the play-in did start, and it's been a very entertaining play-in.
Yeah, I know, the Hornets had a big game.
Very entertaining play-in so far. But we'll get to that in a second. But the Mavs are going to be anywhere from... I think is 10 the lowest. I think 10's the lowest they could be, and obviously 1 is the highest they could be.
Yeah.
They cannot be 5 or 6. They can be... The Mavs are either... If you don't hear the Mavs called for 7 or 8, wherever they end up projected odds, if you don't hear them 8 or 7, guarantee top 4, because it can't be 5 or 6. So if you don't hear the Mavs name called for 7 or 8, it's time to stand up and get busy because they are guaranteed a top 4 pick. But
I have a question.
Rough season. What's your question, real quickly?
If we get the number 1 pick again, are you finally going to buy into the conspiracy theory that we traded Luka for 2 first overall picks?
No,
please.
Because
you finally join me on the dark side.
They have a 10% chance of getting the first pick.
Exactly, that was the plan.
But I mean,
it was the vision. Oh, sorry, it was the vision.
The vision, yes, the vision.
The vision of Helen Keller.
Well, I assume the reference was non-existent?
Yes.
Okay.
Can't see.
Okay. That works too. Going to Cooper now, just because that's what we all care about the most. The Rookie of the Year odds have been, according to sportsbooks, have been going up and down, up and down, up and down. Cooper got hurt in the last game. And, Khan kind of surged as the favorite. What's up?
No, I had something to say about this, but because I saw something and I wanted to talk
about it. But now, because of what happened with speaking of real quick, Luka and Kay did get their got their appeal.
They couldn't send out the awards.
So this first play-in game still factored into Khan's Rookie of the Year odds, and Khan had a awful game. He was benched because of how bad he was, and he went down because of it. And Cooper is now the favorite for it again. So it really is a crapshoot. Obviously, Cooper deserves it the most. I mean, this is no shot against Khan. Khan is a fantastic ball player and had a fantastic historic season. It is nothing against him. But if you are basing this off of Rookie of the Year is not based off team success. Rookie of the Year is based off who is the best rookie this season. And Cooper is not even close to the best rookie. He does everything better than outside of shooting. Is everything better? So we will see what happens with it.
I'm laughing. It's like everything except like one of the biggest parts of the game. He's better.
Well, no, I'm saying you look at a shooting. If field goal percentage is like Khan has like 1% on him.
Okay.
3-point percentage, he has like 20% on him.
Well, the Flag's not a 3-point shooter.
Right. He's a shooter. Flag can shoot, but that's not his game.
No, I was laughing because like the way you said it was like shooting the ball. Well, like the whole point of offense. Like
not scoring. Shooting.
Okay, shooting.
Flag averages more points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals.
It was just funny. It was the way you said it.
Yes.
Was like oh yeah, one of the most. It's like saying like this guy and he's a better passer in every way except he's not as accurate.
Right.
Wait, what? Like no, what? That doesn't make any sense. It was just really funny.
And actually, I saw something funny on social media. People were like, Luka's still giving the Mavs assist even though he's not on the Mavs because of him having to appeal for this. The award's still going on, which helped Coop's odds because Khan had a bad game.
So does it help the Mavs in any way if Coop wins, or is it just cool?
No, it's just like you want your. Of course, you want your guy to win it. I mean, but there's a lot of great players who didn't win Rookie of the Year. Obviously, I mean, not everybody can. There's only one guy. Well, outside of the three co-Rookie of the Years.
Technically, like LeBron won it, but like Wade and Bosh probably had great rookie years. But
Carmelo came in second,
and Carmelo, came in second. He had a great year, but it's LeBron, right?
Yeah, so it's LeBron. Anthony Edwards. He didn't have it. LaMelo got the Rookie of the Year. Yep. Anthony Edwards is the clear best player from that draft. Just is what it is. I mean, there's a lot of great players that don't have it. But co-Rookie of the Year is in play, and that'd be cool. I mean, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I think they know they're best friends, Con and Cooper. I mean, they're
yeah. Didn't they play at Duke together?
Yeah, they're roommates. I mean, they're best friends. They are best friends, and I think if they won it, they would both be very happy with that. I think fan bases would be happy with that. But we'll see what happens. It'll be very interesting. But going now to the rest of the NBA, the play-in has started. Great game. Sixers clinch a 7 seed.
So they didn't get bounced in the first round. Yay.
Clippers or the Sixers did make the playoffs. Yes. So the Magic lost that game. Remember, if you don't remember how the play-in works, the 10 versus 9 play. Winner of that plays as the loser of 7-8 for the 8 seed. So the Warriors last night beat the Clippers as a 10 seed. They move on to play the loser of the 7-8, which the Blazers beat the Suns. So Warriors-Suns for the 8 seed in the West.
It's too complicated for me.
I mean, it's
1 through 8. You either make the playoffs or you don't. No play-in, no in-season tournament. Quit it. You 1 through 8. Sorry, this is my old man yelling at clouds rant. Okay, like 1 through 8. Quit doing the play.
I think the play-in is cool though.
Here's why I don't think it's cool. You're playing to be the last team in the playoffs so that you can get smacked around by the number 1 team in the conference.
But if you're 7 or 8, you're playing the number 2 or number 1 seed anyway.
Yes, but it's different. Okay,
you still have an advantage. You get 2 games to win 1. I mean, you're giving the teams an advantage.
Let me say it like this: they're making it seem like it's more valuable, I think, than it is. If that makes sense, let me explain before people are like, "Well, it's the playoffs." Like, yes, but if you just take the best 8 teams, yes, the 7 or 8 team is probably still going to get beat up. Right? Probably. Most of the time. The play-in, these teams are fighting for the chance to get beat up. That's my point. It's pointless.
But they don't have that perspective. The Hornets, if they win tomorrow versus the Magic, they are the 8 seed going to play Detroit.
And I'm sure the 2017 Browns did not had the perspective they were going to probably win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean,
okay. Sports teams don't think logically. When we were at Hatchie, our dream was go 16-0. We weren't going to sniff anywhere near 16-0, but we still said it because that's the type of if you ask like guys that play D2, they think they're as good as the NFL pros. Are they? No. But do they think that? Yes, because they have to.
Yeah.
These teams, I'm saying as a fan, from a fan perspective, from an outside that building's perspective, these teams are playing in a play-in. It's trying to, to me, it was a cheap way to try to get more marquee games. And I don't like that. But I think you're trying to manufacture. It's like, well, then what's the point? I think the whole play-in is just dumb.
But there's also this argument that, the Warriors are the 10 seed. Warriors were a top 6 seed the entire year, basically. Curry goes down for 2 months. They're the 10 seed.
That sucks. You don't make the playoffs then. So that sucks. Deal with it.
The Warriors don't deserve that, and they are a competitive team.
That sucks.
If they have their full strength.
Injury's part of the game.
And they give them a chance to, I get where you're coming from. I'm just saying that I think the concept is cool. I think it gives these other teams hope and an opportunity, and these fan bases opportunities to root on your team and host a playoff game. But anyways, it has been very entertaining so far, the play-in. All the games have been great. And I believe it's not maybe are there games tonight? I'm going to check on that real quickly, but I believe they're tomorrow. Let's see. Friday is when the final play-in games, and then the playoffs start on Saturday. So I believe with hockey as well.
Stars start Saturday by the way, 4:30. Weird start for the Dallas Stars.
Well, there's the first playoff game on Saturday is for the basketball for NBA is noon, 2:30, 5, 7:30. So there's a game on the entire day.
Yippee.
But it is going to be an entertaining playoffs, I think.
I wanted to use there's I'm quoting Bob, one of Bob Uecker's lines, and I think it was Major League 2. I think it was the second one, and he was like, Indians got something going here. I think I'll wet my pants. That's kind of what I feel like. The NBA's got games all day. I think I'll wet my pants. Yippee. Sorry. I know it's your sport. You can have fun. No. I'll watch hockey.
No, I mean, I'm going to watch. I don't have a team in here.
I'm watching the Stars.
I don't have a team here, and the Stars are on. I'm watching the Stars.
4:30, I'm watching the Stars.
Outside of that, I'm watching, whatever's on, whatever it may be. But
anyway, by the way, to capture that game against Minnesota was big. We forgot to mention that with Zach. To beat Minnesota in that game in regulation was big. Moving to baseball now, Rangers have been generating some offense. The series against the Athletic. Look, baseball is such a, like 1 week you could have a great week, the next week you suck. Like it's such a, just you do this. So I thought they played well against the Dodgers. I really did. I just think the Dodgers are the Dodgers. I mean, it's just they out-talented you. I don't know if that's a word, but they're better. I
texted our fantasy baseball group chat once Seager hit that 3-run home run in the game 1 of the series.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're up 3-1 or whatever it was. I was like, I texted, because we have a Dodgers fan who's he lives in LA.
You jinxed it.
No. I said, y'all are still going to win, but Corey owns y'all. I said that to him. He's like, I know. He's like, I know he does. I miss him.
Crushed that ball.
But I literally said, like, y'all are still going to win this game, but I'm happy that, Corey is owning y'all.
Look, Berger's been mashing.
Jock and Young have been good.
Jock's been better. People haven't heard. People can complain, but he's been getting on and he's been doing some things. I thought I didn't see yesterday's game.
I did.
But how did Rocker look? Did he look good?
Little out of control.
Still kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Leiter's looking good right now. It's top of the third as Josh Smith strikes out on something he couldn't hit with he couldn't hit that with a racquetball paddle.
He's been Josh Smith has been unlucky this season, but he's been very bad as well.
Yeah,
Langford I think is the unlucky. In advanced stats, there's it shows hardest hit ball, unluckiest.
Langford's crushing the ball.
Langford is the unluckiest hitter currently.
Kutch had, I think it was in the first game of this first or second game of the series.
Yeah, Denzel Clark.
Kutch, it wasn't gonna be a home run. That was the dude perfect leap. Okay, if you're culture, you know what I'm talking about. In the softball stereotypes they did, remember?
Yeah, of course.
Where Tyler like catches it here, but then jumps at the wall.
He's like,
Denzel Clark
make it look cooler.
Caught it down here because he jumped. It was not gonna be a home run. It was gonna be off the wall. He should have had a single and a double. As Ezekiel Duran knocks one down the line,
there is a double.
It's gonna be good for at least a double. Get the. By the way, I love the lasso.
I love it. Yeah.
Because as someone that and you were a little bit older than I was during this times. Well, you've always been a little older than I was, but you were a little bit. I was 6, 7 years old. You were 9, 10 years old when this happened. But that
was great.
And the claw, it was great. They put it on shirts. Like I guarantee you, the Rangers are going to market the lasso at some point. I love it. I liked it. I know Kutch hasn't been hitting. He walked earlier in the game, so it's good, productive at bat. I think that right now that he's just not getting the consistent ABs and the bat speed just isn't there. when you get older, you lose the bat speed.
For
but
sure.
I would be willing to there's almost like a hope, and I'm going to say this is going to sound super morbid. You almost hope he gets injured and he can stay on the 60-day, so that way he can stay on the team because he's great in the locker room. He's great for the culture. He brought the lasso thing, right? But he's just you want to see a little bit more from him, but he's been fine.
Yeah, he's been fine. I mean, he's exceeded expectations so far.
Here's a guy that's he's had a bad series, but Nimmo just to the start of the year hitting 340 or whatever.
Yeah, he's been amazing.
He's been great.
I mean, we knew at the time when that trade happened, we knew we got the better player at the time. We knew we won the trade. It's just
Nimmo
in a few years with money.
Nimmo had better offensive numbers. Simeon was still going to be a great defensive second baseman.
Right.
Both of them were on the decline in terms of bat speed, in terms of exit velocity, in terms of all those metrics that I think really do matter. They were both on the downturn, and Nimmo had a longer contract. It was trying to save a little money, and I think try to get a little bit.
There we go. I think that's an error. Is Durant going home?
He should.
There we go.
So 1-0 Rangers.
I think that's an error.
That should be a single. Nah, that was tough.
I couldn't tell from my angle, but it looked like a easy play for the second baseman.
No, he had to dive.
Oh, did he? Okay, bad angle.
Anyway, nice job from Brandon Nimmo there. Cool to see, Jenko on the sidelines.
I just gotta watch this because I look from my angle.
Look, Nimmo just went out there and poked a breaking ball, and of course they're just going.
Of course, they're not showing the field.
Here it is. Here's the field view. That's tough.
That's tough. I think it's a hit.
That's a tough hit. He hit it pretty hard, and Zeke got a good read on that. Anyway,
real quickly in the last baseball segment, what are your thoughts on the Rangers City Connects? I
like them. Look, red is my favorite color, so I love the red. I like the cream pants. I like.
They're better than the previous ones. Even though we won a World Series with the Beagle.
I wouldn't say they're better. I'd say they're on the same level. They look good. I'm not gonna buy one. They're not oh my god, they're super sick. They're cool. I liked it that we brought back thank God we brought back red jerseys. Because I love
and
red.
the block tee.
And I like the block tee. And I know some people.
Nimmo might have got picked off here.
Oh come on, Nimmo, what are we doing? And I know that there are some people, and I'm just gonna say this like this. There's some people that don't exactly like that it's Tejas. I think those people are idiots. I think it's great. I think that Texas culture has always been very intertwined with Mexican culture, even just Latin American culture, but especially Mexico. It's just we bore each other. We got our independence from them. They didn't really like us back in the 1830s, but who cares? We just.
No, I think it's a good sign of respect.
There were Mexican soldiers that fought at the Alamo for us. It's a big part of our culture, and so I like that Tejas is the thing. Of course I know that the not the misprint, but the unfortunate hat that was released for a moment.
It was always funny. I think
tried. It failed. I think there was an unintentional trying to get into the Mexican culture type of thing. But
it's just so funny that you see a couple days later, Drake posts on Instagram with the hat on. I think that was just hilarious how he happened to have one.
This is much better. I think much better.
Yes,
I
agree.
love the red. I think it looks good. I'm very curious to see how it looks on the field.
Yep.
Because it can look great. The City Connects I thought looked kind of I actually thought the first ones looked bad. Then we got in the field, and I went, okay, they look pretty cool in the field. As we get a 6-4. No.
Ooh.
Wyatt beat that. Are you kidding me? Okay, anyway.
They're not even
moving to football. We are almost in draft week, boys. It is, I guess boys and girls.
They are challenging it.
It's great. It's exciting. We're a week away today from going live. We will be live next Wednesday. It'll be later in the afternoon because I have class. And we are going to try and pick a day where we can record and have Zach Walchuk on, and it'll just be 30 minutes of draft talk. No Rangers, no Stars. It'll be literally we might actually mention the Stars with him a little bit because I know he gets into the Stars. We might mention the Rangers a little bit. Just hey, what are your thoughts on this? But it'll be mainly it'll be a special edition episode. It'll be a special. It won't be the regular episode that we do, which will be next Wednesday, or we release our final mocks and we do all that.
There is a possibility I'm not here Wednesday though.
Okay. So call in.
So I would call in with my final mock, and
which would be, I would say, slightly unfortunate, but we'll try to make it work because I don't want to go live Thursday because then by the time it gets out, the draft started, so no one's watching the show; they're just watching the draft. So I do believe we're going to have a full panel. We're going to have, I think, all 4 guys. We're going to have Chase, me, Donnell, who was on day 2 last year. Me and him watching a ton of Corners film. And then Seth should be here for both nights, who's been here for he was here for last year's round 1. We're gonna have to figure out the mic situation. We may have 2 people sharing a mic. That may be what we have to do.
And it won't be one of us.
But Chase and Donnell, Seth and Donnell are gonna have to get real comfortable because it's gonna be like right here. But we will make it work. I do want to have all 4 on. I think it'd be a lot better to have 4.
For sure.
It's gonna be exciting. I'm super ready. Cowboys, looking, are they gonna trade up? I don't know. And I told me and Chase, we always, kind of do like a little pre-show type of thing when we're driving over here to the studio. And he, I'm like, look, bro, my dad asked me the same thing, like, who are we gonna draft? And I'm like, okay, I'm so into my evaluations right now. I'm not even worried about the Cowboys, and I probably won't be worried about what we're doing until Thursday. And that's not because I don't care or whatever. It's just because I'm just trying, I'm so involved in the players I'm watching that I'm just kind of forgetting about the fact that my team has 2 first-round picks and we could come away with 2 really good football players. Or maybe try to trade up and get one really good football player. Who knows? One of those guys could fall to us. It's definitely going to be, look, every year we hear there's going to be a ton of trades in next week's draft. Every year, the week before the draft, there's multiple reports and there's going to be a lot of trades. It's happened every single year.
I was very mad about one thing. The NFL posted this on Instagram yesterday, and I commented. I was like, can you just stop with this? And everybody was talking about it. It was a mock trade that we get 14 and something for Pickens from the Ravens.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, why are we posting this?
But number one is we're not going to get a first round for Pickens. We're not going to get that. We might get a 2, maybe, and that's why I don't want to trade him because we're not going to get the value that we want from him.
Yeah, we want him here. I mean, Jerry wants him here. I mean,
I'm excited.
It is what it is.
Look, I'm excited. It's draft season. I'm hoping to have my evaluations. We're not getting much sleep here, but it's okay because it's draft season. It's always fun. Don't want to cut it too short, but we already are over an hour. Anything else with the draft that we really need? The big storylines that are right now. It's just kind of waiting to. This is the time of the year where, yes, I'm ramping up my evaluation and everything, but it kind of feels like it settles down, right? And then we're just anticipation until we get to Thursday and then Friday and Saturday. And then the NFL knows because once that's over, literally the next biggest thing on the calendar is the schedule release.
Yeah.
They give prime time television time to the schedule release. So the most meaningless thing. Then after that, it's the Hall of Fame game. There's really we're coming into that. This is the dead. We're coming into the dead. Nice play, Josh Young.
Did you catch that?
He did, yeah.
Wow.
We're coming into the dead period once we get to the draft. But the draft's always fun every year. It's Christmas in April. I love it, and I'm super excited.